Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm A Delicious Mango, and today we are watching, reacting to, and breaking down the Season 19 gameplay trailer for Apex Legends. This season is called Ignite, so this is the Ignite gameplay trailer. You can see it up here. World premiere. We've been doing a lot of these, but there's lots to break down in every one of these trailers, so make sure to stick around for the whole video. We're going to break down stuff you might have missed in your first watch through. But here we go. World premiere of the Ignite gameplay trailer. Let's get into it. Season 19. This is our first look.
Every storm eventually breaks. Light always pierces through.
Ooh, I hope that's what the skybox looks like.
Not to break first. In my family, we call that strength pagasa. Hope.
All right, Stormpoint looks kind of nice. I'm liking the colors. I'm really liking it. Oh, wow. It looks so much different with different lighting. Oh. All right. We got a little bit of lag here. There we go. We're back.
The sun will rise on all of us.
Maybe there's so many people watching the trailer it's having issues. Conduit. Passive. Save your speed. Gain a burst of speed when running towards... Oh, I missed that. But she's got a speed boost. Tactical radiant transfer. Creates temporary shield when she sends it to her teammates. That's interesting. We'll pause and watch the video, of course. We'll reread all of it.
Sorry about this. Gotta up our stats.
Energy barricade. Deploy an array of shield jamming devices, which stuns and slows. And does damage?
It feels as cool as it looks.
Stormpoint energized. A lot of new POIs. The whole map looks different. I'm liking that look so far. So many rainbows.
Yes.
Cross progression. It's finally there. It's finally there. No way. It's real?
Like I said.
A little volt action.
Pierces through.
There's her ultimate. The ultimate's interesting.
Didn't your ate tell you not to stare at the sun?
A selfie finisher. That's funny. That's pretty funny. Okay, wow. Hold on. There's actually a lot more to talk about in here than I originally thought there might be. There's actually some really interesting things. So a very short trailer. Very short trailer. First thing we want to look at, though, is look at the way the map looks. This looks like the new fish farms area. That looks like maybe shipfall. The skybox is much different. The skybox is much different. Look at how different this looks. There's so many like pink swirling clouds. It's not like bright blue skies it used to be. It's still very bright, but now a lot more pinks and magentas, and there's circular rainbows all over the maps. This crazy look here. It almost looks like, oh, maybe like there was a tornado or something. We know that a storm hit Stormpoint, and that's what changed a lot of the POIs, which we'll get into in a moment. But this looks... I really like this because this is going to look much different. I think one of the most important parts of maps is that it feels different when you actually load into it. And this is going to feel different than any of the other maps we have so far. There's another look at it. So this looks like new antenna. Antenna got a lot different. Shipfall back here. I didn't know we were going to get a shipfall update, but it looks like shipfall as well got a change. Here is the new fish farms. You can see that that's launch site. Launch site remained the same. And then behind these rocks should be Gale Station, but we can kind of see in some of the other trailers and some of the other looks that Gale Station probably got changed as well. Ignite looks like there's going to be a ton of changes. I didn't think there were going to be this many changes to Stormpoint. So this kind of looks like the little shipfall area that she's running into right now. And that's antenna behind. So a lot different. That's going to be what shipfall looks like. A lot more buildings, not just one big ship. So here we are. Save your speed. Let me move my camera so you guys can read it. I'll put my camera at the top here. It says, save your speed. Gain a burst of speed when running towards a teammate out of tactical range. So that's pretty interesting. So you run faster to your teammate because her tactical is a support option. It's a support ability. You guys will see it in a moment. So you go a little bit faster when you're running towards them when they're outside of her tactical range. Now we don't know how far her tactical range is, but that is pretty interesting. It's almost like a double time for Bangalore, except it's going to be activated based off your proximity to teammates. We don't know how fast the burst of speed is going to be. We also don't know how long. Is she always going to have a burst of speed? Like if you're in the ring and your teammates are really far in zone, Are you just going to continually run fast forever until you catch up to them? Is that how that's going to work? Is it just for a moment? We won't know until we get our hands on the actual character. But that's an interesting thing. And also, if her teammate is this Mirage, then it looks like the tactical range isn't going to be that far. If the idea is that she's catching up to the Rampart and the Mirage, then it doesn't look like the tactical range is that far, so she's able to catch up. Tactical is Radiant Transfer, which she just did to her Mirage, so our theory is correct there, that it doesn't have to be that far away for you to get that boost. Tactical Radiant Transfer. Send a surge of energy to a teammate, generating temporary shields for them and Conduit when in danger. So I imagine this... At first, some people thought maybe she's going to be like sapping her own shields to then go and, you know, like give shields to your teammates. What it seems like instead, maybe think of it more like Revenant's shadows in his ultimate right now. Maybe like a little bit of an overshield. It says generating temporary shields. I don't know if it's going to add on to a full shield or not, but it essentially makes your team a little bit beefier in the midst of a fight. And it looks like it happens pretty quickly. You can see the fire time for that tactical. It's very quick. It's pretty simple. It's just boom, right there. She didn't really have to aim it, and then it happens. And it looks like if you take an even more specific look, her gun is out, so she should be able to use her tactical ability and her gun at the same time, I believe. I think that's what it's going to look like. Most of the time, if a character is using an ability, if they can use their gun, they will hold it in their hand. If they can't use their gun, they'll take it away. So, for example, Bangalore can use her smokes and hold her gun, and that shows that she can shoot while she's shooting smokes. Loba, if she's throwing her bracelet, she's not holding her gun. Gibby, if he's throwing his bubble, he uses two hands to throw the bubble. So this indicates that you might be able to actually use her abilities while you shoot your weapons, which is interesting. And that's useful, seeing that it's a kind of combat ability by beefing up shields. It's a nice little PK skin. I like that. I imagine we're going to see that in the Battle Pass trailer. That'll probably come Monday. Here's another side of Shipfall, I think. There's a catwall. Okay, so here is the ultimate. Energy Barricade. Deploy an array of shield jamming devices which damages and slows enemies. So this is interesting. Shield jamming devices. What does a shield jamming device mean? It makes sense to damage and stun enemies. We have abilities that do that already. Think of like Caustic Gas. So what is this going to look like here? Is it act like a Wattson fence you can throw out? When you look here, they make it a little bit difficult to see. I'm sure this is supposed to be thematic or whatever, but it's a bit obnoxious for us, the viewer, because we don't get to see the full aimer. But if you pause right here, you can see it looks like it's going to be kind of some type of orb here. I don't know why they decided to block this moment with the catalyst wall, but bad idea. Bad. No. Let us see the whole ability. But it looks like there's going to be some type of area of effect. And to me, it's circular. So I think that this is more akin to a caustic grenade. It sounds Wattson fence-y, you know, shield jamming, electrocute, stun type of deal. But based off the circle, I imagine it's going to be a little bit more like a caustic grenade or more like a fuse ultimate where there's like a ring or area, circular area of effect. And as she shoots it here, you can look. It does look like it goes further than a caustic grenade, but I don't know if it's going to go as far as a fuse ultimate. So that's why I'm making these comparisons. I think it's going to land somewhere in the middle there. And it spreads out. It looks like the aimer was a circle. And I don't know if the circle is this wide or not, but this kind of makes it seem like the canisters themselves are in a line. And then you can see a little circle out here in the sand. So maybe the canisters themselves are in a line and it becomes there's a circle around that. And that's the area of effect that you can see. And I imagine that enemies will be able to see clearly the line in which they cannot cross before they get zapped. And it does knock Catalyst there. So it does actually get a knock. That's something important to remember. Storm Point energized. This is our new antenna, which I think is great. Personally, I think this is good. Antenna was an area of the map that was really interesting, but there was a really obvious flaw in that if you got stuck on the low ground, there was essentially no way out unless you had particular characters. I like this. This makes the POI feel a little bit more balanced, and I actually think there's going to be more loot here than there used to be, which is going to be great. A lot more buildings will probably indicate more tarps and more pills, so there should be more loot in Antenna, which I think will be great. I'm a fan of that. This looks like Gale Station here, or maybe kind of near Shipfall. I'm not certain, but I think this looks like Gale Station to me. You can see the ocean down here, which makes me think we're on the Gale Station side of town. And so Gale Station gets a big change. We got a lot of like walls, like this big wall with zip lines going up from the beach. Got lots of buildings inside there. A Seer ult, which is a rare thing to see in this day and age. And then this area right here is interesting. This, I don't think is a POI, but it is, if you're wondering, this is between Launch Site and Cascade Falls and Stormcatcher. So if you guys think about where you are on the map, you're standing on Stormcatcher, on Storm Point. If you look down that big hill, right now, there's a little like set of gravity cannons. You can launch down the hill, and then there's like a building on a rock. It's just kind of like an L-shaped building, and then a little small building next to it. I think this took the place of those buildings, because if you look over here to the right, it looks like, or to the left, excuse me, it looks like that could be the launch site area and the area that goes towards Old Fish Farms. I'm not certain about this, but to me, I'm pretty sure that's where we are on the map. You can also see the big cliffside here that you walk around, I assume, to get to Antenna. So I think that they have actually added some different non-POI locations as well onto Storm Point. So the whole map looks like it's getting a big facelift, and I'm sure there's more to it than just what they're showing us in this trailer. That's really exciting to see. I think that they, just from the trailer so far, looks like they've done an outstanding job with Storm Point. Very cool to see it. Now, a big one, cross progression. Thank goodness they finally added it. I'm sure we're going to see exactly how the cross progression system works. I believe it's going to be an account merger, a situation where you cannot merge your accounts, but rather you can pick one or the other. Here we have some of the Battle Pass skins, a bright new Battle Pass. We've got a Wattson skin here. I really like that skin, actually. And then Newcastle gets a tie-dye look to him. I really enjoy that. That's a fun one. We have Conduit with like a purpley gold skin, and I believe this is Rampart. Yes, it's Rampart. I enjoy that one as well. It's like a green and gold. Octane gets a skin that kind of looks like some of the other ones we've seen in the past. I'm a big fan of that one, though. It's a good-looking Octane skin. I don't think they've teased exactly what the evolutionary skin is. They do show a wingman right there, and here's the Volt. But I don't think they've shown any type of ability or any type of item with an evolutionary skin, a weapon rather. Last thing I want to look at here, if we take a look, we get one more chance to see her ultimate right there. And so now we can actually see there's two aimers. There's two things. So I'm not sure if that is going to be anything in particular. I don't know why we see two icons here, but that's something we didn't get to see in the first clip because of the catalyst wall. So that's something to keep in mind. A lot of this extremely interesting. And then, of course, we get our final finisher. At least probably her base finisher. We don't know what her legendary finisher is going to be. But that's exciting. There is actually a lot in this trailer that I think was very interesting. Let me know if you learned anything, or if you have any comments, let me know in the comments. I'm excited. I think this could be a great thing for Apex. I think this game needs to move in the right direction. Last season, this current season, 18, was decent. It at least stopped the free fall that Apex was in, but we need another good season. And so far, based off map changes and what we're seeing today, hopefully we're heading in the right direction. So let me know your thoughts down below. I'll have a video posted tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. It was our wish list for season 19, and we've already got one of the items in the wish list, which was cross progression. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss that video. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you did enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one.